area. And about 20 years ago, I got a call from my roommate. He says, "You think you could come and sell some tickets at our banquet?" "What banquet?" He said, "It's called the North American Squirrel Association." So they had a rousing 38 people at this banquet. It was really exciting. And after that, I ended up being involved with this organization for almost 20 years. It's probably the neatest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I can only tell you this, if you have one of these booklets, pass these out, you can keep those, but if you don't, you're not real serious about keeping them, you can give them back too, because we could use them over again too. But let me just share a couple of things. I talked about two people were playing a game of cribbage one day, and they were trying to figure out how they're going to get their father out squirrel hunting. And he was in a wheelchair, and so they took him out. They built him a little wooden thing to wheel up in the woods, and he shot 3 squirrels that day. And he started to cry. And he said, "I never thought I'd ever go hunting at it again." And so what happened is, so then these two guys that are playing cribbage, one of which was my roommate, said they should try to find more people that would like to go hunting and stuff like, and go squirrel hunting and stuff like this. So they found out 3 or 4 people, and they took them out hunting. It was so exciting. They said, "Well, maybe we should start a club or an organization." And they called it the North American Squirrel Association. Don't ask me what that is. There is no North American Squirrel Association in this country. It's just here in La Crosse right now. There is none. But this is our organization. And it got to be so neat that we started last year we helped 7,000 people. We started out helping these people. We started doing all kinds of different things. We have 23 different projects that we deal with. And it's a never-ending thing. That you can always find people that need help. So our big mission statement was that we were going to help elderly people and disabled people enjoy the outdoors. And we've come to learn to love this because it's we could go on and on. We got 30 minutes. We're going to really. They always tell me to shut up first because I'm a long-winded one. But it is so neat right now. You can see all the pictures up here of all the things that we do, and it is just amazing how this situation works. One of the things that I'm involved with directly is I'm directly involved with the golf program. So we take disabled people golfing. We have a golf. We call it a golf league. 4 Sundays in August and September, and we have played 3-person best ball, 1 disabled golfer and 2 mentors. And last year we had 3 blind golfers. We had 2 that had spina bifida, 2 that had cerebral palsy, and there's quite a few other ones that had various problems that it's amazing that they got to go out. I'll just tell you one story, then I'll keep moving on. This gentleman with cerebral palsy, we took the cart off his cart like this, and so he could slide out to the side, and he usually hit the ball about 10 to 15 feet. But he was so excited about being in this league. He was in this league, and he came in one day and he said, one of the helpers said, "Andy's got something to tell you." Andy got a 42-foot putt. He said, "You got a 42-foot putt?" "No." He said, "I got a 42-foot putt. I ought to get some kind of prize, don't you think?" I said, "I don't know. I'll probably have to turn it over to the board of review." And he said, who's on the board of review? I said, me. Anybody else? No, that's it. And he's, I'll tell you what, next week I'll come back with the board of review's decision, on whether you get a prize. And first thing he met me at my car. What'd you decide? And I said, well, I decided that from now on, anybody that gets a 43-foot putt or more is gonna win a free prize. He said, that ain't fair. I said, yes, it is, because you're the guy that started it. I'm getting nothing out of this. I said, I just bull driving you. I'm gonna give you a prize. So he got a big prize. I got a hat and some golf balls that he hardly ever uses, but that's what you get out of these types of things. And you can't replace it. And we have, I'll let these gentlemen here go and go from here. These are two of our excellent members that they spend a lot of time. We're trying to figure out, what do you do in your retirement? Well, I guess we work with the Squirrel Association. And then they said, well, we should get some new members. Have you ever heard this one? Have you ever heard that thing before? That's what I heard in Lions out there. We got to get some members. We got to get the young people. I said, no, I think we got to get the old ones because they got the time on their hands. They don't know what the hell to do. So with this, who's next? Dave? Yep. Dave is probably our number one worker for us. He should go. Stephanie here. Yeah, Stephanie has been my contact person. And we're going to be at Riverside Park tonight. I think it's going to rain. I was going to have some equipment down there for you to try out, track chairs, bicycles, and things like that. But here we are. Okay. So I'm going to start off with, we have our adaptive water skiing program. Right. Expand on that. We have a youth sled hockey program. We have a pavilion in Alaska at Shaker's Landing. We have a track chair program for any individuals who are in a wheelchair, are able to get outdoors and enjoy the outdoors. This past weekend, I had a young gal make it up to Vista View Lookout on Richmond Forest Park. Hour and a half walk up, 500-foot elevation difference. Yeah, she enjoyed it. She would never be able to experience in the wheelchair. Then we have our kayak program that goes out every Thursday night and Sunday afternoons. We're out on Lake Pashana. All of our kayaks are outriggers on them. They don't tip over, and it's sold each night of the event. And then our pontoon boat. We have a pontoon boat out on Lake Alaska. There it's primarily nursery folks. Boy, they get big smiles on their face. They finally get out, just get out the bus ride down. And then we put them on a 2-hour tour, and that brings in 3,000 to 4,000 of our people right there. It goes out Monday through Friday, every 2 hours, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. I captain that, Craig captains that. We have 22 volunteers to step up and run that. I captain that to the fire. We have a bicycle program, and everything we provide, absolutely free. It's free. There's no financial commitment whatsoever. We have a bicycle program. You want to take a bicycle home, somebody, take it home for the summer. When you're done with it, bring it back in, tune it up for the next spring. We have our kayak program. We have a water ski program. We have a pheasant hunt program out at Woods and Meadows. We have a trout pond for seniors. We have our first one this week, Thursday. And downhill snow skiing. Again, Fred will bring that up. And then our golfing. At one time, we had 5 adaptive golf carts throughout the area that could be utilized for free. With that, I'll hand it over to Craig. Go with your ski program.
I'm Craig Klein. I run the water ski and snow ski programs. I think we'll run the video right away. Don't mind there, Marissa. We do 2 programs a year, and our first program was last 2 weeks ago, and the news did a really good feature on it, so we can play that.
Summer today, a beautiful day for the Adaptive Water Ski Day at La Crosse Airport Beach. News 19's Bowen Kidrovich and Crystal Flintrop decided to take a beach day to see how skiers of all abilities are making waves.
I love seeing like the glow up in the participants' face when they are actually water skiing. There's so many people that we've seen come in the years past. There's so many new participants here that have never water skied. So just seeing their reaction when they're actually out in the water is just it's like a proud moment.
If you were near the Black River Friday morning, chances are you had a good look at skiers speeding through the water on equipment provided by the North American Squirrel Association and volunteers from the River City Water Ski Show.
This is our 8th annual event. We run 2 a year out here on the beach, and we bring in physically challenged and folks that may not get a day to ski very often. We bring them out on the beach and just have a blast.
Giving the chance for newcomers to have an experienced volunteer skier by their side to learn the sport.
My role is I'm a side skier, so there's 2 types of water skis. The ones that use side skiers, me and like my sister will hang on to the person in the ski and the rope. So we're literally serving as side skiers as we do a big loop around the Black River.
And returning skiers looking to advance their skills.
We've also seen the skiers improve in their abilities over the years. So someone that may have needed sit skiers or side skiers before is now going out unassisted.
Caitlin Rogers is one of those skiers that progressed throughout the years. First, she was nervous about getting into the water, and now 3 years later, Caitlin feels the need for speed.
Just by myself in the chair, I went twice. It's fast in the water, splashes.
Adaptive ski history was made Friday. For the first time, 2 skiers accomplished riding solo on the boom. Caitlin Rogers is also looking to try her hand at the boom.
I just want to see if I can do it.
She says she had a great time on the water while pushing herself to try new things, which volunteers say is amazing in itself.
It's extremely encouraging for them. It kind of changes their mindset, like, oh my gosh, I've been able to do this. Like, maybe now I can push myself to go try something else different, just stepping out of their comfort zones and giving them that confidence to just put their mind to doing whatever they might want to.
For skiers and volunteers, it is an event that they look forward to each year.
It's like coming down here and be like, Gloria, we're excited to go here this summer. Like, will you ski next to me? And just like something so small that I don't think about and how much it means to them really just kind of like brings me back to like full circle of everything.
Just that little boost of confidence there. The River City Water Ski Show team is always looking for more volunteers, especially for the next Adaptive Water Ski Day later this summer. You can also catch the team in action each Wednesday at 7 o'clock at Airport Beach. Discover Bullseye.
So we're also looking for some volunteers, like they said on there. Looking for volunteers for every activity we do. We do the 23 activities Ken talked about. A lot of, like you saw in that video, my group of volunteers for water skiing ranges from maybe 16 up to 50. So they're not all old people. That particular activity is a group of young people. Kayaking. When you go to the kayaking events and you help volunteer, you actually, they show a double here. You actually get to go out and kayak with the participants. The neat thing about our activities, it's also fun stuff to do. And when you're water skiing, that's fun. If you're a hunter, you get to go hunting with people. It's all good stuff. The neat thing about being a volunteer with this group is if you aren't in charge of a program, you don't have to go to any meetings. I hate meetings, and so I have to go. I'm in charge of it. But it's once a month. It's really not that big of a deal. But if you just are a helper, there's no meetings. The organization is extremely well funded. We have one huge fundraiser and a couple other ones. another good thing. You aren't always selling cookies or candy bars or whatever. We have a huge banquet, 850 people. We all help with that in February, I believe it is, or is it March, April, one of those months. And, so it's not really intensive that way. So we are looking for volunteers. I have a sheet that shows every one of the activities and who's in charge of the activity. That's how you get a hold of them, and you just volunteer. So I think that's fine.
I can open it up for questions. Come on, questions, questions.
We don't have, look at this book.
Yes.
There's enough questions, yes, go ahead.
How do you golf blind?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because the first person I took out golfing was blind, and he swung it 17 times in a row and missed. Oh, 17 times.
The guy in this booklet he's a blind guy. The guy with the white shirt.
He said,
He's our
so I said,
president.
George, what are we gonna do about this? I said, these people are gonna be waiting on us. We were not in the course, but they'll wait for us if you're missing it 17 times in a row. So I said, we're gonna have to try something. We teed it up, and I had them all set up like this, and he'd swing it. And I said, wait a minute, we'll take the tee out of there, the ball. What we did was, we had him just swing. And where his club hit the ground, that's where we put the ball. We kept swinging. I was the one that came up with that too. And I'm not a genius either. That was great. I said, and he went like this. He went like this and he hit the grass. I said, okay, I'll put it down. He hit it almost 100 yards, right straight up the middle. I said, Orange, that one went straight, right up there. He said, I know. You know that. He said, I just know that. Anyway, see, I said, well, then we should start playing for money. And I said, when you ask me where mine went, I'm gonna tell you right down the middle. Where yours go, out about. Now, we have had so much fun with this, and it's just great. There's just so many little things that we have done. They didn't talk about this downhill skiing either.
Oh, yeah, we have a downhill ski program out at Mount Lacrosse. We have about 5 events a year. People sign up. We are organized with the YMCA and bring 15 or so people, and they get to ski down the hill. It's on skis similar to this, where they're sitting down, or if they have the capability to stand up, we teach them how to ski standing up. Usually they start and they progress from here up to standing. Another great program. This year we're starting over at Fort McCoy too. So the vets and the vets kids are gonna get to experience it. Like Ken said, too, all on our dime. Not one person in any event ever gets to spend any money. So it's a great thing for families who, usually families who have kids that are adapted, have more expenses than normal anyway, and we don't want to burden them with any other expenses.
Our yearly budget is well over $100,000 a year. And where do we get that from? A lot of donations. A lot of people see what we do. I was at today just picking up, I have a golf tournament coming up this week. It's a fundraiser next week. And I stopped to pick up a pool sponsor check. He said, this other group decided to give you some money too. And I just took the envelope. I got home, there was $1,000 in the envelope. $100 bills. I said, and I don't even know who these people are. But I've never, you can see how you could become so attached to doing something like this. You're feeling so good about it. Kids, not kids, are adults. I had a call today for one, wanted to know which day we're having this golf league. Because his mother's making him go to this family reunion. He doesn't want to go. He wants to know how. I told her, I said, well, I said, well, this is the days of this. I can make it 3 times, but I don't know if I might have to go to the reunion. I want to go. I don't want to go to the reunion. I want to golf. So, but you don't have to, when you start out taking people out in the pontoon boats. We have, how many do we have? 60 captains or 50 some captains, something like that. 22. Oh, I understand. That's what Roger says. You always exaggerate.
22, and there's just 6 of us. in this show.
Yeah. Yes.
Which activity are you most in highest need for volunteers?
That's an excellent question.
That is, I would say pontoon drivers is a good way for a lot of people who enter this into n.a.s.a. Your commitment is however many times you want to go ride the pontoon boat, and it's fun. For 2 hours, you get to ride around Lake Onalaska in a really nice pontoon boat.
We have pleasure rides and we have fishing trips too. They extended out to about 3 or 4 hours. We provide them with poles, and we have so many poles now. We get from everything we have a trout pond that's up by a new trout pond, which is at the Boy Scout camp. We just procured that pond, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And that was one of the things that I thought was the neatest thing we ever did. We take these nursing home people to this trout pond, and they would catch. We have people helping them to catch the trout. We got it all stocked. It's like trout like this, you know. I mean, I'm not kidding. They're a big trout. And
Not exaggerating.
Yeah, is he exaggerating that?
they were really big. So anyway, but when we get done, we clean the trout and we cook it right there and they have it for lunch. And they think it's so cool. And there was a lady that was fishing next to another lady. She was 103 years old. And she says, well, how's it going today, lady? She said, I caught 6 trout. And the other one, who's 99, says, you only caught 5. And she said, I caught 6. No, you caught 5. It was probably great, whatever you caught, right? No, but I caught 6. Yeah. But but they just had so much fun, and then we had this dinner and we cooked it for them. And it's just unbelievable. This year we had to change because we got a different kind of pond, so you have to preserve your fish, and so we can't do that. So we got to fish and catch and release a little bit. That to me was the neatest thing that I've ever seen. People do.
It's one of the most rewarding, I think. I sat with a guy one day at the trout pond. You basically spread chairs around the pond and you just throw bobbers out, wait to catch a fish. I'm sitting next to this guy who didn't talk at all. Finally, his bobber goes down and I told him, you got one, set the hook. And he just looks at me, he kept looking at me, and I realized he doesn't have the capability to set the hook. I didn't know what his issues were, but he had a stroke and half of his body didn't work. And so I grabbed the line and set the hook. And then we had to figure out how to do it. He wanted the reel and I pulled the pole and he had reel, and we figured it out. But I've experienced so many, I've fished with autistic kids who have an incredible strength, who jerk fish clean out of the water right over our head. You never know what you're gonna get. But it's the most rewarding thing if you're a fisherman or outdoors person to go do something like that.
There's a question online. This is from Laura. Her son is not being a good participant, but she wants to know, are you ever looking to expand, or do you think you'll stay in the La Crosse area?
We expanded to Toma recently, and it was 5 years ago. And so there's a branch over there. They're mirroring a lot of our activities. They have a pontoon boat, they deer hunt, they have a track chair, a few outings, I forget which things they have. But
They're very successful, yeah. Probably as successful or more successful than we are. Because we do it very well. We're short of, people.
so
Their
we are
biggest
part of it.
contribution is fundraising event that took them up to a $400,000 on the dam playground.
Wow.
They built for the city.
They also have a bus that they recently purchased, a short bus with a wheelchair lift, and they're actually taking people shopping and whatever they need to do. We're gonna try to do it 1 or 2 days a week. So very not outdoorsy, but still in our mission.
Our mission statement. Yes,
I know you mentioned the YMCA. How do you get most of the people that you work with?
The clients,
Yeah, clients.
the through the YMCA for just the snow skiing only. All the other programs, it's just over time, you keep their emails and you send them requests. It's quite honestly one of the things we do. Work job. We had Sierra, my daughter, for 6 months as an intern, and she was going to try to help us do that. But our organization. You did.
Yeah, we do so much.
But our problem,
I'll stick by it. You're right, you're right.
the problem is, I'm one of the younger volunteers, and I'm 62. And our age group aren't so good at technology. We don't do that so well. That's something our organization could really help with. Somebody in marketing, somebody like Sierra, who could help us market and help us with the technology and so that we could get more clients. That's probably our best advertisement. You guys watch that 3 minute that we have this whole year by far. Yeah, so we don't, a lot of people live here in town, even people with adaptive kids that don't even know about it. And that's kind of a shame.
Now, people will come up and say, squirrels. So, could you come over and get some of my squirrels out of my backyard? I hate them squirrels. The worst thing that ever happened to me as the president, I got a letter from a gentleman in Pennsylvania. He said, I'm with an organization out here that's for the preservation of squirrels. We have a squirrel derby where we go and shoot squirrels, you know. I said, I don't think we're the ones that's gonna help. They wanted to support their efforts. I said, I don't think this is the right effort. We have piles. We cleaned them and we ate them all. We didn't do anything wrong.
Annual.
Have you partnered with like medical organizations like Mayo and Gunderson?
We
with
certainly
their-
try.
We try.
I mean, you'd think that they would have your
Oh,
participants right
We
there.
try all the time. And
we
not
offer
only
them
that, the vet hospital over in Toma, now that we have a branch there, we try all the time. We offer to give, like the PT area, here's 3 bikes. We never get anybody to take us up on this. So we try to. Hasn't worked so far. Yeah. School
We
districts
have
are
a lot
good.
of repeat clients.
Yes.
They have so much fun, so enjoyable to us. They want to sign up again.
And they have friends who are in the
And
same
they have
situation.
friends. 5 years ago, work track share, we didn't know anything about it. We ended up borrowing one from an organization in Madison. Let's, okay, we got this, what are we gonna do with it now? Within 6 months, we realized we need to have our own. And today we have 5 of them. They're on demand. I got 2 out right now. I got 4th of July weekend is booked up solid. It's, they go to family reunions, they go camping together, they go down, we always have it down at the Goose Island where they, that Goose Run, what's that, 24-hour?
Goosebumps run.
Yes. And track shares there, right for them. They in turn turned around and had a fundraiser and raised $20,000. Got us another chair and a trailer. So.
There was a 4th grader from Richland Center who had been in a wheelchair his whole life. But they'd always come to n.a.s.a for a field trip. But because of what n.a.s.a was like, you couldn't take a wheelchair, even an electric wheelchair, anywhere. So we met him from La Crosse. We met him with a track chair, and he got in the parking lot, and he went up every hill there was at n.a.s.a. And I see him coming out of one of the corners of the park. It's like the Pied Piper. here he's coming. Lance is just driving this old track chair, about 20 kids around. Hey, Lance, good, nice ride you got there. It was just, that just made the day. I mean, and since then, how many times?
Well, I up to 5 field trips a year for the school systems, where they can't go to the farm, where they can't go to the Rainbow Ridge Farm, where they can't get out. I meet them there, they get out of the bus. I'm down at Sugar Creek Bible Camp right now. I got a chair down there. There's a student that's in a wheelchair that couldn't participate. Now she's enjoying it.
But a gentleman that went bear hunting in his track chair.
Yeah.
And Dave's been working with him for a long time. Took him up by Minot. It was probably the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. They've had some outfitters up there that took him for free. And he shot a 300-pound bear out of, and he's pulling the bear out of the woods behind his track chair. And everybody's, the whole town is cheering for him.
And he's paralyzed from the neck down. I have him set up with a bite trigger, and he does deer hunts, bear hunts, and turkey hunts with a crossbow and gun, all using a bite trigger, mechanical bite trigger.
This organization started with just hunting and fishing. This is what we got.
Okay, I think our time, who's the timekeeper?
We still.
Can you share how if someone wanted to use the pontoon boat, like what would qualify them? How they sign up? Okay, do you want me to say?
Okay, I know, okay. You're entitled to 2 trips a month. And you schedule a month out in advance. For example, right now, the schedule for July is coming to an end because of June. So you go on our website, which everyone has on their booklet, and then go under fishing, you go under summer fishing, because we also offer ice fishing. You go under summer fishing, you go under summer fishing reservations, and it takes you right to a calendar. You look at the dates, you look at the times, you look at your schedule, and boom, you sign up.
So you qualify too, that's one of your questions probably. So one thing we haven't talked about is we do stuff for vets too. So if you're a vet, disabled or not, just a vet or a current serving military person, that would qualify you. If you're elderly, we never really set an age on it. But if you have an elderly grandma, and your whole family wants to go with her, that's fine, as long as somebody's elderly or a disabled person in your group. Everybody on the boat does not have to be in that category.
Take up to 10 people on
asked.
the boat.
You know, the pontoon boat is wheelchair accessible.
I have a question. I mean, thank you for coming and sharing your story. It's really useful. I've never heard about n.a.s.a. It's like, what is the Squirrel Association? So as a Rotary Club, we're here to serve and help organizations like yourself. How do we help you grow? Is there something we can do for you?
I would say we have 3 statements. We're always looking for more clients. We're always looking for more volunteers. And we're always looking for more money. And as a Rotary, you can have a fundraiser and raise $100. We have an online PayPal donation site. You can come to one of our meetings, free pizza and soda.
That's the only thing we get. Is that
So
pizza.
what are your meetings?
The first Sunday of every month.
First Sunday of the month, Pizza Corral, Holman, 6:30. And it lasts an hour. And free pizza and soda.
I think just spreading the word for both clients that would need to do the activities and volunteers. Because people come close to retirement.
He said the 3 things, right?
Yeah.
We've had the 3.
I think too, like, we just had Shark Tank, but like, this is a perfect example
Yes,
of
it
like,
is.
next year, we're even more things that we could do, is, that's exactly what we raise money for, is to do and support organizations like n.a.s.a, and I think it'd be an amazing one to partner with, so.
We are starting right now. We just announced that we are going to be putting up an all adaptive playground in home. Remington Hills subdivision. We're starting that fundraiser. We are selling raffle tickets for a UTV. That'll be one of our money makers, but that's a big event. It's just getting started, and we desperately need help promoting that.
The question was good though, because you said, I've never heard of this. And there's a lot of people, we keep thinking that we've spread the word out really good, but we haven't done probably as good a job to publicize what we do. But that was a good statement, because sometimes that's one of our weak spots, I think, right now.
Yeah, and I understand the technology part of it, and probably that social media, not social media.
We have a Facebook, we have a website, but they're not, nobody owns them, so they're not current. Oh, sure. Yes.
Think about changing that.
No, absolutely not.
I was thinking,
I definitely
I was
tried.
thinking the same thing, like rebranding it.
Well, we worked for 20 years to get a lot of people, I say a lot of people, some people know what we are. But we got that, I think now that the more people that we commit what we do. That was the first thing that people.
But once you have the name recognition, yeah, it's understandable, but marketing wise,
yeah,
people don't associate n.a.s.a with your organization. And first one.
That's a great name.
It's not a great name. I love the story. Great story. I love
Also,
storylining myself, so I get it.
did you notice that the letters are small case?
Yes.
Because we got sued, but.
Aerospace Association.
N.A.S. capital letters, we got sued.
We got sued.
One lady, well, we started to get ridiculous. Somebody was gonna sue us for our squirrel, where we had a picture on there, it said, we copyrighted that squirrel from somebody in Pennsylvania. They called me and I said, when did you have this squirrel? And we came out with it in 2009. I said, we had that in 2003, so we're gonna file a suit against you for stealing our squirrel. But that, we actually had, there was somebody who was.
It just ties into our first gentleman.
Yes.
It ties to that. There's Wild Trails Unlimited, there's the Elks Foundation.
Yep.
Turkeys Forever, there's Ducks Unlimited, there's no Squirrel Association. And I was in a bar in Florida, just having a sword and a sandwich, and I had an n.a.s.a hat on, came up, told, they asked what that was about, told them the story, wrote out a check for $200. Just like that, I mean.
Once people find out what we do, we do it very.
Yeah, and I think just having volunteer banquet, how many people did you have this year? Like,
850.
yeah.
We max out.
They fill the lacrosse center, and there's all kinds of people there, so yeah, obviously there's room for improvement. And letting know people know, more people know about your bus, there's a lot more legends.
We max out the lacrosse center by number of people allowed. There's no place bigger. 12 maxes out their banquet. They also have a fundraising banquet. They max them out.
We also allow new activities too.
Yes.
When I came to the group, there was no water skiing, no program. When he came, there was no action chair. One of our ladies brought in a kayak program and sled hockey, all recent things. As long as it has to do with the outdoors, sled hockey kind of didn't, but we let it get in.
But it's with the youth. We also want to, I'm involved out at Camp Decorah with the Scouts. 3 years ago was the first time that I was asked they're participating, they're coming. And some of the parents and grandparents that want to come and see what the kids are doing, they can't walk around, they can't.
Well,
I got equipment out there all summer for them.
duck hunt, we did start duck hunting about 17 years ago.
Yes.
It ended about 17 and a half years ago. No, we did, it was hard for us because of where we're at, from the types of boats that we're in, or lines we're in. It was a little tough, we still tried it though. And it's possible.
Ducks Unlimited out at Trempealeau Wildlife Area, they provide an annual hunt for the disabled.
Do you
They
ever,
have blinds, they have UTVs to take it. Our clients participate. 3 blind people go duck hunting every year. Yeah, 3 blind people go deer hunting. They can't tell them, they can't do anything. The only thing they can't do is drop.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Aaron Miller, and on behalf of the club, want to thank you guys for presenting tonight. What you guys are producing is more valuable than gold. You're producing moments of joy for people who so wildly deserve those moments of joy. And talking about the name, you know, once people find it out, and there's some humor in that, and Ken, some of the stories that you told with your clientele, like humor is like a big part of that, and the challenges that they face, and even doing these opportunities that you guys set up in front of them, humor is a big part of it. So finding that out and hearing the story behind NASA and the fun, kind of the funny thing with the real NASA and the NASA and the stories about being sued and this and that is great. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for being here. We have a big following on social media. 1,324 people. So, and also you guys have done an impressive setup here today, and insofar as other presenters who have come here, this is looking great. So what we would like to do is set up a nice photo with you guys with your backdrop and share that on our social media platform and help to spread the word a little bit just from tonight. But anyway, thank you for your time to come here tonight and share with us a little more about it. I'm a big golfer, so hopefully sometime I can maybe help out with something.
Anytime.
I have a engraved rock at Lacrosse Memorials. It says "Rip it and rip it." So when you have the next fundraiser, that's yours, Ken. Stop by. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody up there, let's take it.
Yeah, we need some Rotarians to surround these guys for the picture too. So just kind of come up and snuggle in.
Hey, Alyssa, you should go up there with a Rotary shirt.
That needs to be front and center.
There we go.
Is everybody in that wants to be?
Perfect.
Chairs? Okay, Lynn's coming.
This is the real deal.
Can you move that chair? Anybody else? Good? Alright. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
She has one more thing she wants to say.
You want to help spread the word? They-
Ashley, are we doing the 5-way test?
Yeah.
This says it all right.
Ashley has one more.
We have the 5-way test to do.
Yes.
I like to help out with hunts. I love hunting. Deer hunting.
Anytime.
Turkey. Well, I got some of the turkey.
Just interrupt everybody.
I'll go.
Really quickly, we're just gonna finish the meeting. You guys are good. Thank you so much. It was a great program. I I don't know, hopefully you guys can stick around for a couple minutes after. I'm sure some people might want to talk to you. So we appreciate you being here and taking time out of your evening to share all the great work you're doing. It is a cool program. I work at Mayo and we gave some funding to the n.a.s.a a few years ago, and it was
A lot
very
of fun.
awesome to be part of that and hear more.
It was pretty
So,
nice.
Thank you. Really quickly, let's do the 5-way test. So, and all the things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Will it be fun?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
Sawyer's very appreciative of the meeting, everyone. I saw Brandon's reaction.
Yes, it was quite loud on the owl.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.